What's up, Cowboys Nation? We all know that America's team is constantly looking for ways to improve, and after another season that ended in disappointment, the front office is feeling the pressure. The running game was one of the biggest weaknesses last year, and with a new coaching staff in place, fixing the ground attack is a top priority for 2025. Today we're talking about a bold trade proposal that could send Jets RB Breece Hall to Dallas, a move that could completely change the Cowboys offense. Before we dive into it, hit that like button and subscribe if you love Cowboys content. It helps the channel grow and keeps you updated on all the latest news and rumors. Alright, let's break it all down. It's no secret that Dallas struggled to run the ball last season. After moving on from Ezekiel Elliott, the Cowboys placed their faith in Tony Pollard, expecting him to take over as the full-time starter. But things didn't go as planned. The Cowboys ranked near the bottom of the league in rushing efficiency. Pollard never looked like his explosive self after his injury. Dallas lacked a true power runner in short yardage situations. The bright spot? Rico Dowdle. The undrafted back had a surprising breakout season, becoming the first undrafted player in Cowboys history to rush for 1,000 yards. But now, he's set to hit free agency, and there's a real chance Dallas won't be able to afford him. With limited cap space and Dowdle possibly pricing himself out of their range, the Cowboys need to explore every possible option to fix the run game. That's where a potential trade comes in. According to Sportsnaut's Andrew Buller-Russ, the Cowboys could pull off a blockbuster deal with the Jets to acquire Breece Hall. Rico Dowdle may return, but the Cowboys still need more explosiveness in their backfield, Buller-Russ wrote. Having clocked a 4.39-second 40-yard dash at the NFL Combine, Breece Hall would fit the bill. This is a very interesting idea, and here's why. Hall is only 23 years old, meaning he still has a lot of great football ahead of him. He's heading into the final year of his rookie contract, which means the Jets might prefer trading him rather than paying him big money. He brings explosiveness and versatility to the backfield, exactly what the Cowboys need. Now, it's important to note that Hall hasn't had a true breakout season yet. Injuries have slowed him down, and he's only played a full season once in his 3 years in the NFL. But his potential is undeniable, and a fresh start in Dallas could be exactly what he needs. Now, let's be real. The Cowboys don't typically make big trades. We've seen this time and time again. Jerry Jones and the front office prefer to build through the draft and avoid major free agent spending or trades. But what if this time is different? There's one player who's been pushing for Dallas to be more aggressive, and that's Micah Parsons. Over the last few weeks, Parsons has been very vocal about wanting the Cowboys to go all in this offseason. He even suggested making a move for Myles Garrett. Parsons isn't just talking about adding talent, he's also calling out the front office, saying it's time for them to stop sitting back and start making real moves. Obviously, talent is here, but we've just got to finish. And go be aggressive the same way the Eagles did, Parsons said. Parsons is 100% right. The best teams in the NFL are aggressive. We've seen it with the Rams, who went all in and won a Super Bowl. The 49ers, who added stars like Javon Hargrave to stay competitive. The Eagles, who constantly reload through free agency and trades. Dallas, they stay the same, and that's why Parsons is demanding action. If the Cowboys truly want to build a Super Bowl roster, they need money to spend. And the good news, they can create cap space easily. This move alone opens up $57.7 million in cap space. It doesn't change their salaries, it just spreads the money out to create more room this year. Right now, Parsons' contract is set to cost $24 million against the cap in 2025. Extending him early could free up an additional $18.3 million. Just like that, the Cowboys could have $73.3 million in cap space, more than enough to go after big names in free agency or make a trade like this happen. With new defensive coordinator Mike Zimmer taking over in 2024, the Cowboys' defense had a roller coaster season. Some aspects of the defense were dominant, while others were flat-out disastrous. The good, sack percentage, 9.22%, second best in the NFL. Third down conversion rate, 36.6%, ninth best in the league. The bad, points allowed per game, 27.5, he had a second worst in the NFL. Red zone scoring percentage, 75%, worst in the league. opponent yards per pass, 7. 9, second worst in the NFL. The biggest issue? Injuries. At one point, the top 6 cornerbacks on the roster missed time due to injuries. Top 6. That's the kind of bad luck that can derail an entire season. The Cowboys had depth, which kept things from completely falling apart, but when they were forced to rely on CB7 Andrew Booth, things got ugly. Now heading into 2025, the cornerback situation is a bit of a mess. There are good players on the roster, but each comes with uncertainty. The front office has some tough choices to make, and if they get it wrong, it could create major problems down the road. Let's break down the 3 biggest decisions the Cowboys have to make at cornerback. It's crazy to say, but Jordan Lewis might have been the Cowboys' best cornerback last season. Lewis has always been a fan favorite, playing with intensity and toughness. Over the years, he's been overlooked, slipping down the depth chart at times. But when he gets a chance, he always delivers. The Cowboys clearly value him, having signed him to multiple extensions. 3-year, $13.5 million deal in 2021, 1 year, $2. $82 million contract in 2024. Now Lewis is coming off his best season as a pro, and that means he's going to get a raise. Here's why the Cowboys should strongly consider bringing him back. Reliable slot corner, Lewis has been dependable for years. Plays with physicality. He's not afraid to get in receivers' faces. Affordable option. Even with a raise, he won't break the bank. The question is, will Dallas be willing to pay? With cap space limited, every contract has to be carefully considered. But if the Cowboys want to keep their cornerback group strong, bringing back Lewis makes a lot of sense. In Week 1 against the Browns, Kalen Carson looked like a steal. The 5th-round rookie came out balling, making plays all over the field. With Diggs and Bland leading the way, it looked like Dallas had a stacked cornerback room. But things changed fast. Carson battled multiple injuries, including a shoulder issue that shut him down for most of the season. He didn't play another snap after Week 11. His film showed both promise and inconsistency. Carson has great physical tools. He's fast, aggressive, and has a great closing burst. But his footwork is raw, and he gets turned around too often in coverage. The big question for the Cowboys is, do they trust Carson to develop into a reliable starter? If they do, they might not need to draft another corner. But if they don't, Dallas may have to go back to the well and add another young DB in the draft. How they feel about Carson will play a huge role in their offseason strategy. Decision number 3, Trevon Diggs versus Darren Bland. Who gets the long-term deal? This is the biggest decision of them all. The Cowboys have 2 young all-pro corners. Trevon Diggs, one of the best ball hawks in the NFL. Darren Bland set an NFL record with 5 pick sixes in 2024. Here's the problem. They won't be able to afford both. At some point, the Cowboys will have to choose one to build around. Diggs. When healthy, he's a true lockdown corner, but he's coming off a major injury, torn ACL. He's already on a big contract, and keeping him long-term will be expensive. Bland. His record-breaking season was legendary, but he had some bad games down the stretch. Is he a true shutdown corner or just an elite playmaker who takes risks? This is a franchise-defining decision. Do the Cowboys bet on Diggs returning to form after his injury, or do they hand the keys to Bland and let Diggs walk? It's a debate that needs its own discussion, so stay tuned. We're breaking it all down in a separate video. All right, Cowboys fans, here's where we stand. The run game needs fixing after a disappointing 2024 season. Rico Dowdle is a free agent, and Dallas may not want to pay him big money. Trading for Breece Hall could be a smart and aggressive move to add explosiveness to the offense. Micah Parsons is pushing for the Cowboys to be aggressive, but will the front office listen? This offseason is going to be huge for Dallas, and whether or not they make a move like this could determine how competitive they'll be in 2025. Now it's your turn, Cowboys Nation. Would you trade for Breece Hall, or should the Cowboys look elsewhere for a running back? Sut. Do you agree with Micah Parsons that the front office needs to be more aggressive? What's your dream offseason? Move for the Cowboys? Let's get the conversation going. And before you go, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update on America's team. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Cowboys!